I tell you, it's a pretty incredible story. Anytime someone survives a lightning strike, that's why we always encourage you when thunder roars, go indoors. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm meteorologist Kit Thomas. Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett has the evening off. We've got Daniel also coming up a little bit later on in the show. But everything is nice and quiet around the Mid-South today. Everything is just nice and sunny. We really haven't had a whole lot to talk about for the forecast the last couple of days, but the temperatures can sometimes be interesting as well. We're taking a look out here across downtown Memphis from our Midtown camera. That's right on top of the Southern College of Optometry, right there on the very, very edge of what counts for Midtown. But overall, a very quiet, a very pleasant air mass around the area this evening, and over the next couple of days things will stay fairly settled around the region as well. So lots of blue sky. You might see a cloud or two in the next couple of days, but that's really about it. Then we're going to eventually start to see the weather get a little more active, maybe by next week. We've just got a big ridge of high pressure around the area that's keeping everything pretty sunny for us. So that's sunny and warmer weather here to stay for the next couple of days. Though we might have a little bit of up and down in our temperatures, the general trend is going to be up as we head into the weekend especially. That might be our first chance for 90-degree temperatures. Early next week, that's going to be the earliest we'll see any substantial rain. There's maybe a chance for a pop-up shower here and there as we get to the later part of this week, but more substantial rain could be possible by early next week. The thing is, we're not dealing with a lot of humidity here in the near term, but we'll start to see that humidity tick up by the weekend. Notice all that warm, moist air coming up from the south, from the Gulf of Mexico as we head into the weekend. That's going to get into the Mid-South, and that's going to make it feel just a little bit warmer. We start to talk about the heat index anytime it's hot and humid. That's where your body can't cool down quite as efficiently. When we have dew points in the 40s like we do right now, it's perfect. It's ideal out there. Your sweat actually evaporates very quickly into dry air versus moist air, so that cools your body down very, very efficiently. So the next couple of days, not going to be a problem. Once we start to get those dew points into the 60s, you see there, it jumps from lower 40s to lower 60s from Thursday into Friday. So that's when that moisture arrives. That's when we're going to start to feel the mugginess in the air. And that's where we start to see more impacts to the heat index. Like I said, heat index is wherever we feel the effects of the actual moisture and heat more to our body. It's very similar to wind chill. And some of the heat safety tips, whenever we start talking about it, is just staying hydrated, staying out of direct sunlight, keeping an eye on your kids and pets. Of course, never letting them stay in a closed car or any car without the air conditioning running. And taking breaks inside if you are going to be working anything strenuous outside. This is going to be the first little heat wave of the year. And I'm sure that we all remember that it can get hot here in the Mid-South, but we just haven't really had the extreme heat just yet so far this season. Taking a look at satellite and radar around the area, everything's nice and quiet for right now. And you just have a few systems around the region. Right now, a big high pressure across the south, way off to the north over Lake Superior. There's a low pressure system there, not a terribly strong one, and it just has a very weak cold front extending down through the central plains at this moment. A little bit of rain there across the lower Great Lakes and into the Great Lakes of Canada area as well. As we look through our forecast, again, not a lot to talk about. We just have a little bit of a change of wind overnight, a little more of a south wind. But by tomorrow morning, we'll see a north wind coming back in. This is that cold front arriving here in the Mid-South by tomorrow morning. It's going to have more impact on our winds. It'll be a breezy day. It's not going to be terribly, terribly windy, so nothing to be concerned about. But you'll notice maybe a cool, dry wind coming in out of the north as we get into the afternoon and evening time frame. So that'll be nice if you enjoy an evening walk. It is going to be beautiful tomorrow for that. But as we get overnight into Thursday, the winds start to switch around a little bit. We'll have that high pressure that's behind the front starting to build in, so we'll see more impact of the cooler air behind the front on Thursday. Wednesday could still get up into the mid-80s. Thursday, we'll be back down to about what we were for the day today. We also start to see a little more cloud cover arriving by Friday. Notice those winds out of the south now, so that's bringing in the warm and moist air out of the south. That's where all of that humidity is going to come from, and it could be a little more breezy on our Friday. Looking at the long-range models now, these are the ones that have a lower resolution, so they can run a little faster and get farther ahead in time. This one is showing some showers to our north on Saturday, and we have to wait until Sunday for it to show the rain here in Memphis. It shows some evening showers there overnight into early Monday, maybe a thunderstorm or two coming out of the plains into the mid-south, but it looks like they'll be weaker by the time they arrive here. We don't have a lot of upper level support. We've got this big protecting ridge around the area, and that tends to keep any severe weather at bay, but we could still see a rumble of thunder or two as we head into our Monday time frame. And then as we head into Tuesday, that rain looks like it could linger. So a couple of days in a row of some good soaking rain. That's what we need to counteract the drought that has gotten so bad here across the Mid-South over the last couple of months. A different model here. This is the American versus the European model. It shows a chance for some of those showers as we go through Sunday evening to really stay outside of our area. Monday, very weak, very limited chance for rain at that point. And then we'll see maybe some more showers chances on Tuesday, maybe some thunderstorm chances Tuesday afternoon. So a couple of conflicting models. That's what we typically see as we get out into the long range. As we look here at the severe weather threat just the next couple of days, we are in the clear, but it's sort of dancing all around us across the central plains and out to the east. But as we get towards the weekend, the central plains there from Nebraska down to the Red River Valley might be a chance for some scattered severe thunderstorms there. That sort of lingers as we get into Sunday as well across the central plains there and up into Iowa as well. Now, that system may be what gets to our area as we head into the Monday-Tuesday timeframe. At this point, there is no outlook for us Monday and Tuesday, but as we get closer, we may start to see the increasing risk of severe weather. We'll have to see how that pans out, because once we get into the day 7, day 8 period of the forecast, that's where it's really far and can be really subject to change. We can see it jump around quite a bit. So we'll keep a close eye on this, but for now, nothing to worry about. Right now, we're looking at a temperature of 78 degrees here in Memphis, so it is nice and toasty out there. Everything is still pretty warm, but it's also dry. The dew points aren't that bad. They're mostly in the 40s out there. Tonight, we'll see temperatures dropping back down into the mid to upper 50s around the region. And then tomorrow through the day, those temperatures do warm up pretty swiftly. We could be looking at low to mid 80s around the area. We're looking around 85 for our high here in Memphis. So it could be pretty warm very briefly there in the afternoon as those temperatures peak, and then they'll start to cool down. Remember, that cold front comes through tomorrow afternoon. That'll arrive and that'll bring our temperatures down as we head into our Thursday time frame. I also wanted to mention the chance for some rain. At this point, it's still kind of right at the edge of the forecast area and of the time period. So it looks like the near term, we're not looking at a lot of rainfall here. We just will see maybe a scattered shower or two. Overall, it's going to be pretty settled, though. As we get into the second week of the forecast period, though, that's when that rain may start to reach us here around the Mississippi River Valley and into western Tennessee, I should say. Looking at the wider view of this, though, the next several rounds of rain there across the Central Plains, it's going to be good soaking rain. Across Arkansas, there's a much worse drought in those areas, so they definitely need some rain as well. But across the Ozarks, might be looking at 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. That'll be good for them. Excuse me there. Talking for a while. As we look here at the precipitation outlook, as we get to sort of that later third of the month of May, we'll start to see those rain chances building across the southern plains and here into the Mid-South as well. We need the rain, but it needs to be a good, consistent rain. Once we have these quick bursts of rain and then no rain for a week, we kind of undo any progress we make with the drought monitor. So, of course, we'll hope for some more intense rain very soon, but it looks like we're seeing that high pressure that's here in the Mid-South. That's going to start to push off to the east, and it'll clear out. Whenever I talk about that high pressure, we look at the jet stream for that. Whenever we see this high building across the southern U.S., it tends to keep all of the severe weather at bay. You see the fast winds, the jet stream way off to the north. And as we get into early next week, the jet stream really weakens. We sort of have this subtropical jet streak Saturday across Texas, And once that gets to our area, it begins to really weaken and fall apart. So that's going to limit our chances for severe weather because we need a jet stream to help tilt the thunderstorms to get them to the severe threshold. And it just doesn't look like we're going to see that quite be as much of an issue as a factor for next week's storms. So here's your 7-day forecast here. We've got temperatures mostly in the 80s for the next 7 days with a little bit of fluctuation here and there. 85 tomorrow will still be pretty warm, and then we drop to 80 degrees, very similar to today on our Thursday. Of course, that's when those winds are switching out of the north, so it'll be a little bit cooler, a little bit drier, but then they switch back out of the south by our Friday afternoon. So that's going to bring in the more moisture that we were talking about, and those morning lows only dropping into the upper 60s by the weekend. Look at that, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Low temperatures are around 70. So that's retaining a lot of that heat overnight, keeping things definitely on the warmer and more muggy side as well. And we'll likely see our first run into the upper 80s, maybe at 90 as we get into early next week. We have those chances for rain. At this point, I've only got about 40% chance because of the nature of the models not really aligning yet on when it arrives, how much it brings. We'll see how they come together in the next few days. And if there is a chance for severe weather, we'll be the first to know right here on ABC24. Well, coming up, we're going to be talking about the wildfires in Florida, as well as an incredible story of a teenager in Texas that survived a lightning strike while he was fishing on Mother's Day. Stay tuned. You're watching ABC24 Weather Impact Now.